back to the room, and she would have. I said, "Lily, come on, let's go eat breakfast." She said, "Well, I'm working for a thing that I made 3 times in 10 days." She was staying at bed, ordered her food in, and watching this and ate breakfast.
On the top, yeah. You're the one on the lounge chair, and it's really the human. I can't even believe it. I know.
Everybody still uses she and I work is different as night and day. And yet we both love traveling, love to travel. And we went so many places in the world together. And I would be the one that would, what the people are doing, but she would be, well, let's go to that museum. We were in Pennsylvania and in this building. And so I said, "Look, I'm not there. I'll see you. I'm looking out there."
You get the microphone turned off, turn that, plug it back in.
I said, "I'll see."
I'm not sure how we do it.
Like, I don't see.
Oh, so I said, "I'll see you." So I remember coming out of the building, standing there thinking about what she got her. And I didn't see any signs, so this guy passed by and I said, "What are you looking for?" And I said, "I'm just standing there wondering where I'm gonna go. We're just visiting mom." And he said, "Well, where do you want to go?" I said, I don't know what's here. It's the Dodge Street. I have no idea. Never been before.
Where is the microphone?
And he said, "Come on, let's go. I'll show you." He showed me all around. We never did on this. We never got out of line. Like he just showed the town of Office, Pennsylvania. Is right. And about 5:30, we just trying to get back to the hotel. Who's gonna take us? It's like, and I said, "Oh, and I told her straight, there at dinner." So he took me back and I told him to wait there. I went upstairs and I told this, I said, "I met this guy and shows you around." I said, "He said, upstairs."
Well, that's Mr. Bird.
She said, "Hey, yeah."
Okay,
So I was down.
oh, wait, I need to know.
I said,
Isn't it?
I would love
There's this thing back here.
and have dinner with us. You have been so kind to me.
Okay, it's to be on.
That one's not working. Let me try this one.
I would be gone and oh my gosh. Yes, what you can do that. You stand up in the bed, know that. But I think because
Come on.
there was a woman who worked for UCSF, a professor. No, she wasn't a
Nope.
professor. She was the first woman to start the Black cruises. And she lived in San Francisco. And she had a friend who was a professor at UCSF.
Where's it from then?
And so they had, they were going to,
Just another one.
that's-
Right. Yes.
and I had never been to Jamaica, so I went and I met her.
If not, we just will speak
And
loud.
it,
No,
she came back, and
it's good.
I had been told by the Church of Elective Science, so I went up there, and there she was sitting in the seat. And I thought, oh my God, and from that day until the day she died, we were that close and traveled all over.
A real travel.
Yeah, yeah. And she even had a travel agency in Oakville, and she put my name on the list, so they,
Actually, bump into.
yeah, they
Yeah,
used to
yeah.
track.
Bricks.
Yeah, yeah.
Turn that under off. What do you think?
I mean, I can stop now.
That is it.
Yeah, so.
You use some of it. And I do. And we'll move that is maybe the. But on the cruise, when not.
I've been all over the Caribbean.
You know.
I've been to Mexico, literally, 33 times. I've been 33 times to Mexico. I ended up married in Mexico. I didn't go to get married. I've been engaged for years. And we ended up
Well,
being
here's my
there.
phone.
And the year that we were together, and I went every year.
So it's 11:04.
It's up with the Mexican guys that stay my hobby.
As well, that's what I have like
Yeah, 8 boys.
recorded with my phone and the music. It's like it's
And
that's what we
Good morning. Welcome to Unity Richmond East Bay on this beautiful day, Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And unfortunately, we're without music today and without a microphone, so I'm going to be shouting.
oh my goodness.
I'm going to welcome Pastor Carsten for the opening prayer.
Hello, everybody, and welcome everybody at home. Welcome those beautiful mothers who are here today. Welcome everyone, even if you're not a mother. I am not. But I play a mother with my kitties and my animals at home. So, and sometimes with my partner, as we know how that is. So let's start by sending some loving prayers to Marilyn, who is not here. She's been diagnosed with a little bit of illness, but she's taking care of herself. So that's why she didn't come today. So that's why we don't have music. But I'm wondering if we are up for singing This Is the Day without the music. I think we know it well enough. So first, let's open our hearts and our minds and our spirits to mothers today, whatever that means for you. And of course, we would not be here but for that being who chose to act as our mother, or maybe she didn't choose, but we're here. So let's send love and thanks to that being who helped to bring us here. Just to take a moment to bring that into your heart and mind. And regardless of what the journey was like, because we all know that moms can also be difficult, we say thank you. We bless them wherever they are on their journey, if they're still on the planet or if they moved on. And now let's take a moment to bless Mother Earth, this divine, creative, loving energy that nourishes all of us and is, hello, it's a mother to each of us, consistently bringing us the breath and the gravity that holds us here and creating all the food that nourishes us. Let us open to that powerful, loving energy that we feel as that divine mother energy, that Sophia energy, that divine feminine, which is not just Mother Earth herself, but she exists within our bodies, whether we are male or female. It is the divine balance, and it is the mother energy that comes from Mother Earth that gives us our physical bodies, that gives us this life that we experience. So we take a moment, we breathe in that presence of Mother. We feel that downward pull of gravity holding us here, securely, lovingly saying, yes, you're supposed to be here, and I am supporting you, nourishing, guiding, loving us. When our teacher Jesus said, be still and know. And it was that divine knowing that was beyond the intellect, that wasn't up in your head figuring something out. It was the knowing that I am here, alive, conscious, and nothing can disturb the peace of my soul when I tune into that truth, that power, that presence, and recognize that it is me. It is me right here, right now, loving myself, loving this experience, being those divine qualities of the mother, which allow us to create a life that is nurturing, that is loving, that is compassionate, that is accepting, that is open to receive, because we feel free to give that love out, knowing that it comes back. So on this Mother's Day, we endow it with that energy of love, compassion, peace, and we thank ourselves for being willing to move through this experience, which can sometimes be challenging. But as we take that next breath, we feel that the support is always there, always guiding us, nurturing us, inviting us into more life, more experience, more love, more connection. And so we say, thank you. Thank you for this day. Thank you for each other. And we sing in a cappella, this is the day. Two. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. That the Lord has made. I shall rejoice. I shall rejoice and be glad it is, and be glad it is. This is the day that the Lord has made. I shall rejoice and be glad it is. This is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. All the time. This is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. That we got the mics. We couldn't figure out how to turn it on. I shall rejoice and be glad and be glad. This is the day that the Lord has made. I shall rejoice and be glad. This is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. Yeah, sorry, people, just keep that out. Oh, that was exciting. Thank you, Barbara, for leading us in that song. Today's affirmation is on the left-hand side of the program, and we'll say it 3 times together. I honor those who came before me and give thanks for their contributions to the world and my life. I honor those who came before me and give thanks for their contributions to the world and my life. I honor those who came before me and give thanks for their contributions to the world and my life. And we'll do the mission statement next, and it's on the top of the right-hand side of the program. And the mission statement is to love, to serve, to awaken. Together. Love, spirit, ourselves, and the world. Serve. The beauty of the Christ is expressed through service to one another. Awaken. We are one as God. Each of us is here to awaken to our divine potential. We seek to transform our hearts by the renewing of our minds, knowing with God all things are possible. And now the vision statement together. Unity of Richmond East Bay is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions. Following the path of Jesus and other spiritual teachers, we use emerging wisdom to cultivate a closer walk with spirit, humankind, and ourselves. Thank you. And now it's time for the daily word. What's the date today? Okay, the daily word should be right up there. It's not. I opened it to the daily word. It's on the 10th. That's. Ooh, it's a good one. Enjoyment. Immersing myself in the world's wonders, I find enjoyment. I am ready to embrace life fully and open myself to its many wonders. I find joy in big celebratory moments as well as simple pleasures. As I meet life with an open mind and heart, I discover all the kinds of things that fill me with delight. By taking time to appreciate and give thanks for all of these things, I find myself enjoying each moment. Even in the midst of challenges, I can feel the joy that abides in my soul, regardless of circumstances. The weight of life's burdens grows lighter when I remember to attune myself to the presence of God in myself, other people, and the world's creatures. I am a joyful, loving presence and share my light with everyone. I know that there is nothing better for them than to be happy and enjoy themselves as long as they live. And I can't say the word at the bottom. So that's the daily word.
And now we're gonna greet our neighbors.
Okay.
Up your hands.
Happy Mother's Day to you. Happy Mother's Day. Like your Amber thing, I was like, that's a- Me too.
You know, since we usually have Marilyn here accompanying us, but she's not here, I think for Marilyn,
Is she okay?
she's okay. She went to she went and got the help that she needed. She's taking antibiotics. I think she's fine, and she was thinking of still coming. And I sort of thought, no, it's probably best. And then she sent me her text saying, no, I think I need to stay home. So also, she may be contagious. But since we usually do music here, who is up for singing Amazing Grace? A cappella, just because I think most of us know that. And I think what better song to really embody that energy of mothers and the divine feminine, that grace that we can open to here on the planet. So anyone want to start with us?
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound
That sprays a soul like me. I was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Was grace that brought my heart to sing, and grace that knows no
I know the race.
Good.
What's next?
Next is the mission and vision statement.
Oh, yes, prayer and meditation statement on the right-hand side of the page. And we'll say it together. There is only one presence and one power active in my life. God, the good, omnipotent. There is only one presence and one power active in your life. God, the good, omnipotent. There is only one presence and one power active in Unity of Richmond East Bay. God, the good, omnipotent. There is only one presence and one power active in the world today. God, the good, omnipotent. And now I'm going to invite Pastor Carsten out for the spiritual message for today.
And what is the spiritual message for today?
The womb of Mother Earth. Bloom where you are planted.
The womb of, thank you for reminding me, the womb of Mother Earth. Bloom where you are planted. And I'm gonna see if I can find, that's right. So I knew that daily word did not sound correct because it's Mother's Day and they usually do something for Mother's Day. So let's look at the daily word today. Just if you guys, if anyone's not familiar with the daily word, anyone here or out there, go to Unity's website. I think it's unity.org. And you can order two versions. You can actually get the booklet itself. They'll send it to you, but they also will send you the daily word each day in an email. And it can be a wonderful way to start the day. It's always quite powerful and quite potent. And I find that I can read it again and again and get so much out of it. So I invite you to open to that and explore it for yourself. Blessing for Mother's Day, Sunday, May 10th, 2026. So let's take a moment to recognize that 2026, here we are, and it's Mother's Day. And these special days that we celebrate, they have power. They have what I call Shakti that continues to build up. And so I invite you to not just on Mother's Day, but really whatever special day it is, bring it into your heart. Give yourself a moment to kind of feel it. And on Mother's Day in particular, that's where that mother energy exists. I was listening to a video on the way out, and they were talking about that energy of Sophia, which we've been talking about quite a lot, that divine feminine. And what the moderator was saying, or what he was, usually some PhD or someone who's studied a lot, he was saying that Sophia is not an idea or a concept out there. That energy of the divine feminine, that Sophia energy, exists in our hearts. It's what Jesus talked about, that kingdom of heaven within, or that still, silent space. That's Sophia. We can think of it represented as the womb, that energy that allows all life, all things to blossom, but it's right there in our hearts. So I invite you to place your hand. What was interesting is he talked about, we're not talking about the physical heart, which is on the left. We're talking about the energetic and spiritual heart, which is right there in the center of your chest, bringing balance in. So as you place your hand on your chest, listen to these words from the daily word. I bless and give thanks for the mothers in my life. Today I celebrate and honor the world's mothers. First, of course, is the mother who nurtured and guided me to be the person that I am through her love and example. So even with that said, some of us may have had a mom that maybe didn't give us the best example. So my partner was really helpful with this because being from Mongolia and a different culture, he has a different take about life and psychology and how to find balance. And when we first got together, as we often do in this culture, we wanted to share all about our story. And for me, it was the story, and then there was a divorce for me, and my mother threw me out of the house, blah, 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 blah. And so I shared all my traumas and tribulations. So now it was his turn. And he kind of looked at me like, my parents gave me birth. I'm here because of them. And what more can I want? And I was like, oh, well, that's not what you're supposed to say. But rather than arguing with him, I went, wow, that's pretty powerful. And it was a real gift for me because here was a person that I'd drawn into my life that said, you know what? You can let go of all that stuff and look at the blessings. And when I realized, I said, oh, this is unity. This is what I've been teaching. I can actually put it on my own journey. So there were always those gifts there. And I share that just because, very often we talk about mothers, everyone expects that, oh, your mother was wonderful. Sometimes she wasn't wonderful. But the gift is we would not be here, but that she was willing to sacrifice her body and allow us to grow through her. And she also has imprinted each of us with not just that individual experience, but the DNA that connects us with all the past of our ancestors. So there's so much powerful energy when we talk about mothers. And what I want to share with particularly this large female crowd here today, and Leonard, I'm not forgetting you, that you hold that powerful divine energy, a deep connection with Mother Earth and the ability to create. And it's not just creating through being able to create a new being and let it grow inside you, but what you share not only with all your other female friends and others on the planet, but also with the men, that divine creative energy exists in all of us. And it's time that our culture began to name it as the divine feminine. Creativity, as opposed to destruction, is the divine feminine. And it exists within all of us. And it is what allows nature to blossom, right? So it's important for me to remember to turn off my phone, get off all the technical stuff, and be out in nature. And how many people have, said, oh, I got some free time. I'm going to go enjoy nature. I'm going to go on a walk or even go on a vacation. And you can be out in nature or in this beautiful place, and you're still up in your head thinking about what you forgot to do yesterday and what you need to do later. Anyone notice that when you get out in, because I notice it almost every time I go to the botanical gardens or go for my time with peace, that it takes a little bit of time to detach from this rat race that we get pulled into and to be able to notice, oh, this peaceful, easy divine flow is always present. But to experience and take in the nourishment of it, I need to stop and be with it and remember that my body and all of my physical being is in harmony with this divine flow. And it's our brain and our belief system that continues to pull us out. And what I invite myself and others to notice is that the most powerful medicine to keep us balanced and in harmony and in good health is to remember to listen to Mother Nature through the breath, through our connection with gravity, and to be out in Mother Nature and to express as Mother Nature does through our creativity, right? And you don't have to be a painter or write a play or whatever to be creative. Each of our lives and how we choose to move through them is creative. What am I going to make for myself this morning to eat? Uh, how am I choosing to relate to this person? Am I just going on road, or have I been triggered and I'm just going to jump in? Or am I stepping back and going, oh, I have infinite choices within each situation. What's the highest choice? What's the choice that lifts me and will lift others around me? This is how we activate that divine mother. I also bless those who have shown me a mother's love throughout my life. So recognize that. Who are other people in your life who have mothered you, who will give you nourishment, support, and guidance? Let's take a moment and just breathe into that and thank those. If you want to put the names out loud, that can always be helpful.
Madden,
Stuart, Nelsie, who else? Feel free to speak about that. And anyone who supported you as you move through life.
And Toddy,
Mary,
Patty, Margaret,
Selma,
Early.
And keep thinking as we move, as you move through this week.
Francis,
These special ones may be grandmothers, aunts, other family members, perhaps a neighbor or teacher took me under their wing, offering me support and encouragement. Gretchen, I have deep appreciation for them all. On Mother's Day, I bless the mothers and mother figures in my life and thoughts of gratitude, or with thoughts of gratitude and love. I hold these dear ones gently in prayers, affirming they know the tender, nurturing love of God as they have so selflessly shared it with me. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. Proverbs 3:17. Now, as I always like to do, because I feel our spirituality is a constantly evolving energy, I believe that as we move into this divine feminine, which I think we're moving into, we are going to begin to see and experience, and I invite the women and the mothers here to open to this concept, to step into a more powerful, more active idea of feminine, because I think that's where the balance comes in, because even in our unity thing, what come from what the quote from Proverbs 2:26, uh, sorry, one more page, yes. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all paths are peace. Women are learning that they don't always have to be that center of pleasantness and peace. They've got creative energy to put into the system. They've got a strong idea of who they are and what they want to experience. And I am seeing a lot of the younger generation really stepping into that into a powerful way. And wonderful thing of being part of this church, I've seen a lot of the women of my age and older already holding that energy, already showing up and doing what is theirs to do and speaking their truth. And I think we are ready to see even more, because what I'm also seeing is men more willing to step back and let someone else take charge. And we certainly need to see more of that in the political arena. And hopefully we will moving forward. So, what I want to focus on today is what's happening here in Mother Earth, right? It's Mother's Day, and this is our main mother. And what's happening? What happens on this planet? I mean, we sent a lot of spaceships out and searched out. I believe there is life out there somewhere, but certainly it's rare in this big, vast universe. Certainly, life that is like Mother Earth, which is this blossoming, blooming, amazing ball of creative life. What's going on here? In studying about Sophia and the different energies, the masculine God energy or source, which we think of as masculine, and the feminine energy, we call it Mother Earth, and we call it, the Father who's up there. But what a lot of the ancient teachings, way even before what's written in the Bible, and they continue to discover new things all the time. There is this legend slash actual experience of this divine feminine energy. And what I recognized as I began reading this stuff, what came up for me, that really is the Adam and Eve story. Perverted through our Christian thing, saying Eve was the evil one who did what she wasn't supposed to do. But the ancient teaching said no, she was the one who initiated the movement by saying, oh, yeah, the Garden of Eden is nice, but it's all here. There's no choice. There's nothing to do because it's all stationary. It's the same. She was the one that said, I want more. I want the tree of knowledge, which was the tree of good and evil, or we could look at that as opposites, which is the ability to create, because the ability to create comes through choice. Every time you make a choice, and that's what this physical world is about, right? Infinite choices, infinite possibilities. So what these ancient teachings are saying, that divine Sophia energy is the divine spark that created this universe, created choice, created different objects and things. And right here on Mother Earth, she has pulled it in such a dynamic, powerful way that we are now the children of God the Father, but we also are the children or the spawn of Mother Earth, bringing that divine balance into conscious awareness. So, do we get how powerful we are? how blessed we are that we're able to conceive of these ideas and actually participate by creating our lives. And here's another gift that I've begun to hold on to and really continue to unwrap, and I'm going to share it with you. We can't get it wrong. This life, contrary to what some of the religions have told us, is not about good, bad, right, or wrong. If you do it right, you can go to that happy place. If you do it wrong, then you're in trouble. It is about opening to the fact that we are conscious co-creators with this unknown energy, and it exists within us. And this is a playground, a place for experience. Because how many of you have noticed that when we make some of those big mistakes or the things that lead back, oh my God, I can't believe that happened? That if we take it into our heart and ask ourselves, what was the gift of any trauma or mistake that we made? We recognize, well, that's where real growth happened. That's where I had to step back and reevaluate and recognize, oh, I'm not who I thought I was, or not who they thought they were, but what is actually happening here, right? And how does it feel if you ask yourself, ask yourself this question: who would I be if I didn't have to get it right? Who would I be if I was already right? If the core of my being is that rightness, and everything out there is just part of my creation and my experience. And it's all there to help me learn and grow and awaken. Notice when you ask those open ended questions, do you feel something shift within you? I almost always feel a lightness or a space opening. Here's the quote I want to share from another thing I was watching last night, talking about Sophia and her energy. And this was the one who said, place your hand on your heart because Sophia is in there. That divine energy is in you, that creative, loving, nurturing mother energy. He called it a kind of heart's yearning for what Sophia has traditionally always provided, a seamless vessel of harmony and meaning, uniting heaven and earth within each of us. We may so that we may live and move and have our being. Interesting, isn't it? That it's a lot of what was in the Bible, but connected to the masculine. And what the gift of my unity journey is a whole reconnection with Jesus the Christ, our great, wonderful teacher and brother. And I've shared, anyone who came and saw the play, you understood that when I went to Catholic school, that was the one thing I connected with. So much of the words they were telling us made me feel small and bad and like the dust of the earth and born in original sin. How can they program that into innocent children? It's crazy. But Jesus, I saw him up there on that cross, and I thought, wow, this is the one person I identify with. They nailed him up on that cross, and it opened the compassion in my heart. And then unity shared what I knew inside, but actually put it into words that no, Jesus is a teacher, and he was holding that divine energy. And his teaching wasn't that I'm the Son of God and you're all peons. It was, I am the Son of God, and we are all children of that divine energy. And that spirit is not up there. And you don't have to go through a religion and some sort of teachings out there. You don't have to jump through all the hoops and get it right. Jesus is within you. I mean, uh, that divine is within you always. The kingdom of heaven is within. I feel Jesus was very much a powerful expression of the divine feminine. That's the power of his crucifixion, that he didn't fight back. He showed up and allowed himself to be nailed to the cross, saying, I do this so that you don't have to, recognizing that his actions would have repercussions moving forward through many, many, many generations. And we all know that, life itself, we can have our crucifixion moments, right? I'm sure we've all had struggles that, seem very heavy and deep. but it's our connection and moving through those heavy moments that allow us to feel the positive ones. I work with people a lot, and some of the people I work with, a lot of people I work with, they find more of a flow or a balance in their life. Then maybe a couple of years later, I'll get a call from them, or they want to call and say sessions that, I was doing so well, and then all of a sudden this thing happened, and I feel like I'm back in a worse place than ever. And so we'll do a little work, we'll do a little prayer, we'll bring in some energies, but then I will suggest that perhaps it feels like you're in a much worse place with when this triggering event happened, not because you actually are, but because now you're measuring this disconnection that you're feeling from what you've learned to feel naturally, which is more of a divine connection. Because that's what I've experienced in my life. I still get triggered. Life is about using this feeling center to navigate, and those triggers can come up and be really strong. Partly because I've been awakened enough to say, this feeling is giving me a message that something needs to be reevaluated or stepped back or felt, something needs to be cleared, because I am most of the time in a much more balanced, grounded, connected flow with life. So when I get pulled out of that, it feels much worse. So reason I share that is just to remind you, when life comes up and triggers you and it can feel like it's worse than ever, remind yourself, oh, this is just because I know that this too shall pass, and I will go back into my not only a better place than I was before, but even better than I've ever experienced, if I'm willing not to let this negative space bring in all those negative stories, right? I didn't do it right, I'm being punished, all the stuff that comes up. Continue to let that go and go back to that balanced place. Take a walk in nature. Life is constantly inviting us to nurture ourselves, to turn the outside world off so we can regenerate by going within through prayer, through coming here on Sundays, through calling a friend who's not going to validate your victim or your trauma, but is going to remind you that you're an eternal being. This too shall pass. And what might be the gift of this experience? Have you stopped and asked spirit, or asked your mom who's moved on? There are so many guides and helpers that exist around all of us that we forget to reach out. For me, very often it's helpful to recognize I'm not even reaching out to any specific thing, whether it's God or Sophia or some helper. I'm just open and saying, what's next? What's going on here? I'm willing to let go of what I think I know and see if something new can move in. Sophia gives us this ethical directive, calling upon us to sacralize, consecrate, make spiritual the whole world and all of our lives. This is a big statement, and I had to look up sacralize, which means to make sacred. Sophia gives us this ethical directive, calling upon us to sacralize, consecrate, make spiritual the whole world and all of our lives. Isn't it what unity teaches us? One power, one presence active in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. So today we're calling that the Sophia energy, because that's what a lot of the ancient teachings are telling us, that this physical world of ours, the entire universe, is an active creation of the divine feminine, of that ability to stop, be rather than doing, feel rather than fix, open and trust rather than look for what's wrong. How often do we do that? I know when I work with clients, lots of times I'll talk about the Saturn five. Saturn is the planet that rules our physical life, money, career, relationships, health, and living situation. And those five are very often the things that push our buttons, that can get out of balance and trigger the old fight flight energy, that old feeling of separation from that source energy. And what I've noticed, and I share it with my clients and students because they usually have similar stuff that comes up, when we wake up in the morning, very often I come from that peaceful, dreaming place. And I don't know about you, but that's a good place. And I think it's why all of us, after being awake for a certain amount of time, say, no, I need to turn it all off and go to sleep. And what I want to remind people, especially when people that tell me, oh, I just don't have faith. I don't have faith in anything beyond, just me, what's happening right now. It's usually the atheists among us. And I say, well, then how do you go to sleep at night? How do you feel safe enough to turn it all off and go to sleep? An earthquake could have, anything could happen as you're sleeping, right? Turning it off, closing the eyes, and allowing ourselves to sink into that loving womb of Sophia, could be, is an act of brilliant faith, right? And then when the point I was making, and then when we wake up in the morning, I come from that peaceful place, and very often it's like, no, I want to go back there, and I have to get up, and I can watch my mind going to money, career, relationships, health, living situation. Which one do I need to worry about today? Which one do I need to concentrate on fixing? And I can feel the anxiety coming in. And so what I've learned to do is first thing in the morning, I do some conscious yawning and stretching with the intention. I tell spirit or and the energy, this is what I'm doing. I'm pulling in new, fresh energy that has been active. Because when we sleep, there's so much nourishment that goes on, not only just of our body, but of our mind and our belief system. But we're the ones who pull it back in. So I do the yawning and stretching with the intention that I'm calling in this new fresh energy and I'm releasing any old karma and letting it go. And then I will get up and begin active stuff. I don't sit there and think, what am I going to do with my day? Because I recognize if I do that, I'm taking yesterday and putting it into today. I choose to start the day fresh. And I'm not always successful, but it makes a big difference. Look at your thoughts, look at your mind, and remember that the divine feminine that is always working in harmony and sometimes disharmony with our thoughts or our belief system. We think of that as more the masculine, the feeling self, and the presence is more feminine. I can remind myself, be here now, get out of your head, because on one level, that's all fantasy. That's all what might be or could be or happened yesterday. Be present here and now. And I find when I'm really specific about that, even if I wake up with a lot of pains or I wake up thinking, oh my God, am I getting a cold? Something's going on here. If I focus on that, it increases. If I get up and do what's next and let life pull me in without having to put my take on it, things begin to open up. So I invite you to notice that. Notice your thoughts. The other thing that's really helpful to remember that for me really helps to start to blossom and nourish and nurture that divine feminine is remembering that all is well. All is well and more is coming. Remembering that a big part of life is there's opportunities, there's choices, there's options out there. And remembering that whatever is happening, this too shall pass. So my opportunity is to be present, to be in it, and to be open to it without resistance. Because I learned years ago that resistance leads to persistence. The more we push against something, the more it pushes back, or the more we try to pull something to us, the more it pulls away. So being in that place of non-resistance allows us really to start co-communicating and co-creating with life itself. And it's really allowed me to start to recognize, wow, when I stop trying to manipulate and push and take this as more serious than what's actually happening, I see that life continues to work in my favor, to offer me things that I hadn't even thought of. And if I don't resist them and go, well, what's that about? Things open up. I meditated a couple of weeks ago because I could feel this, what Eric Butterworth used to call the divine discontent. And I love that because it turns what my therapist had called free floating anxiety into something positive. The divine discontent is that energy, that divine feminine you, Eve from the Garden of Eden, saying, I want more. What's next? I want something to happen. And what we often put that energy on is what we need to fix or what we've decided is wrong. If you don't do that, things open up. So in my meditation, I said, I can feel there's something next to me, I don't know what it is. And partly the fact that I put on that playback there got me excited with those juices. And so I could feel there's something next, but I didn't quite know what it was. So after I did my meditation, the message that came through very clearly is get yourself connected with other creative people who you can learn something new from, something you haven't stepped into yet, or that you could step into in a new way. And then I opened up my phone, my Facebook, and there on the feed was San Francisco Film School. I read the little blurb, exactly what it was. So I just took one step. I said, it's interesting. I took one step because they were having an open house. I went down, met the people. This sounds good. And I looked at the money. It's like your money, career, relationships, health, living situation. Money's like, oh, and then the message came through very quickly and say, you can let go of that message you got as a childhood that you're not worth it. Right? When my parents got divorced and there was not much money and my father went bankrupt, the message that I got from me was you can survive and you can be okay as long as you don't cost anyone else anything. So, sort of tiptoeing through life. And I've done a good job of making it this far. But it was such a wonderful awareness for me of there's still some lack consciousness there. There's still some feeling that you can make it, but you can only make it if you kind of figure it all out how to do it yourself. You can't actually ask for help or even spend money on yourself. So I let that go. And interestingly enough, things began to open up. Oh, there's a scholarship we can offer you. Oh, you're a senior. We can do this for you. Oh, maybe you could get a student loan. And I thought, oh, I don't want to do that. I've heard all my friends, they get student loans, then they have to pay them back. And the voice came through, well, you can do that. Oh, oh, I can. And then someone else stepped up and said, hey, I'd be willing to help you. I can help you out with that. So step, step, step. My first class starts tomorrow. And the gift is there's a 2-week trial period. So if I step in and decide, oh, this really is not for me, it's not what I wanted, then I can move on. But truth is, the more I learn, the more I get connected with these people, I'm really excited about doing this. And the voice in my head is saying, unless there's a big, huge thing unless it's a really strong no, be willing to say, yes, I'm willing to take the next step. I'm open to this. And the other voice that came in for me, which is helpful because, me standing up here, I've got an ego connection with, I know what I'm talking about. And I know things and I can share things. The voice that came through and said, be willing to receive, because that is partly with your financial stuff. You haven't been willing to receive, to let it in, to take it, to be in that I don't know place, and maybe you can teach me, you can give me something that I don't know. It's wonderful to have a sense of self and a sense of what you know, but it is blossoming and growing and expansive to admit there's so much more that I don't know. And there's always so much more to learn and to open to. So on this Mother's Day, where we open up to that Sophia energy, that divine mother, that divine feminine that is within us, let it connect us and remind us to be here now, to feel the support that is always around us, to remember that when we're in a place of balance and acceptance of ourselves and what's happening here and now, we're able to see and accept and allow others in our life. The need to fix and change them begins to melt away, and we begin to appreciate them exactly as they are. And here's the real gift that I've noticed, even or especially the things that we used to want to jump in and fix. Because when we can accept those on a deep level, it's, oh, what a relief. You mean I don't have to fix my partner? And even if his life journey is that everything's going to fall apart and that's it for him, I can move through that and accept it. And then when I step back and realize, I go, well, that's really not happening. Because when you stop focusing on the faults of someone or what you perceive as the faults, you begin to see their gifts and their talents, and you begin to learn from them rather than thinking, I've got to teach them. And that's where the balance comes in, because everyone has something powerful to offer you. Whether it's just, oh, I see what's happening with you, but that's not for me. And you helped make that very clear. What came up for me yesterday, again, and I'll end with this because this has been such a powerful teaching and practice for me. I walked by someone on the street who was lying in their own stuff. And I don't mean stuff, they're lying in their own vomit. Thank you very much. And I heard my old self going, oh, thank God, there for the grace of God go on. But then I heard one of my teachers who said very powerfully to me, how dare you assume that the grace of God is not present in that person? And that thing has allowed me over my life to reevaluate that, recognizing that each of our lifetimes here is just one tiny piece of the vastness of our consciousness and who we are. And we can't know or understand why someone's soul energy chooses a life experience like that. But through unity and through my own growing spiritual journey, I need to honor that. As powerfully as that's affecting me, that's a powerful choice for that person. And I don't need to jump in and fix them. If there's something I'm called to do, fine, but it's to bless them. That's the most powerful thing I can do. Bless them and just trust that they're learning a powerful, powerful, powerful lesson from that. And teaching others as well. That's the other thing that comes up for me again and again. Our lives, whether we know it or not, are affecting everyone around us, even if we never come in contact with those people, because we're sharing this space. That's what came up in my Sophia teachings as well, really honoring the fact that we are all intimately created in this physical earth experience. So let's close our eyes and go within, placing our hands on our heart center. And as you take in a conscious breath, breathe it deep and hold it. When you need to breathe, go ahead, but I want you to hold it pretty much as long as you can and feel the stillness. Feel Sophia present within that breath. And when you're ready to breathe, I want you to breathe out with the sound ah. And then as that felt vibration disappears, notice that that vibration has emanated out from around you, just created a kind of harmonious space. Take another breath. Hands on the heart, hold it. And visualize right there in your heart center a color. Whatever color shows up for you, let it turn into a flower, let it blossom into a flower. And then exhale with an ah, make it palpable. Ah. And that ah was that color or that flower blossoming throughout your body, every cell and every system. Feeling Mother Earth and that downward pull of gravity as Sophia, that divine feminine, saying, yes, I'm so glad you're here. I'm supporting you. I'm in you. You are me, that creative dynamic that can feel compassion and love and connection and intimacy with yourself, with the world around you, with whoever you come in contact with each day. Recognize that you are sharing and blossoming and creating this world together. So on Mother's Day, we also honor our human family. Because what is a mother without a family? We recognize that it's within us, it's without us, it moves through us, it is divine, and it is the balance of what we think of as masculine and feminine. But because we're here in this physical world, this physical universe, we are honoring this physicality as the expression of that feminine aspect of the whole. And our ability to choose and make choices and move forward is the feminine in harmony with what we would call the masculine. And it is the creative principle. So today we celebrate the mother through the breath, through our connection with gravity. And we call in for each of us individually our feminine lineage. So we're looking at our mothers, then we're looking at our mom's mother. So it's the female grandmother. And we're just opening a channel all the way back through all those mothers, all those wombs, all those birth experiences that are continuing to support us and lift us and flow us forward. We breathe it in, we trust it, we know it. And together we will sing the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. I started kind of low, guys. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever.
And now it's time to, for our blessing and tithes, and the prayer is on the, put it in your left hand, cover it with your right, and the prayer is on the right hand page. Say it together. Divine love.
Through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. For by the glory of God, I prosper right now. When? Right now. Okay. You can God's given, no matter how it's hard. For just as sure as you're with the world. Bum, 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 bum. The body is because it's been so glad you be God's given, no matter how it's hard. We take in these gifts in the love and energy that they were given, knowing that they are seeds to blossom, whatever that divine feminine mother energy is for each of us. It is blossoming, it is growing, and it is flowing us forward into a new life, new experiences, and wondrous happenings moving forward
Yes.
for
Yes.
each of us individually, for our community here, and for the world at large. We send this divine love out, knowing all is well and more is coming. And in that knowing, we say, thank you, thank you, thank you, God.
Thank
Amen.
Thank you, Robert, for listening to music. Right it off, thank you. So I just want to say thank you to everyone that's here today. We have a number of visitors and that's really fabulous and I'm excited about that. And does anyone want to share before we move on?
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I've been a member for a long time. Glad to be back at the home.
Amen.
So we want to say, live a little, love a little, and let your heart sigh a little. That's the
That's the glory of love. Glory of, that's the glory of love.
love is the most important of everything that's meant to be. It's all beautiful, but it's the love, the center of everything. So I'm going to be teaching watercolor class.
Well, why don't you come up and share about it? Yeah.
We're excited.
I put some watercolors that are part of my class teachings in where we're going to be eating and over there today. So I wanted to come and share. My philosophy of my watercolor class, you don't have to have experience. Doesn't matter how old you are. You just come and have fun and be in that wonderful creative spirit that we've talked about today. And let yourself go without giving yourself negative thoughts. Just, oh, isn't this fun? Look how the colors are. Oh, blues, pinks, reds, yellow. It's just joyful. And I've learned over the past year, I've been teaching watercolor to seniors at two senior centers pretty much for free. But I've learned how to teach the lessons better. So I'm a better teacher. And I also just got accepted to a contest that's produced by Johnny Depp called The People's Artist.
Oh.
So that's me. I'm the people's artist. And there's voting going on, whether I win or not. It's just such an honor to be in that space of the people's art, and be recognized as the people's artist. Because also my art is at the El Cerrito DMV. If you go to get, it's so boring. You have to wait for your number. Look up on the wall and you'll see some of my 5 of my paintings. So I'm really excited about that opportunity. Came from knowing somebody at the senior center who knew somebody, because you have to know who the right people are to know. But, it's such a wonderful blessing. And that's what I want to invite you to come. It's going to be 1 o'clock after church. I've also invited people, they don't have to come to church, but I'm bringing all the supplies. Don't worry about that. And come and join us. We might even do a little drumming or a little singing or, expand it however we want to creatively. And I really love to be back to this wonderful community. I'm so excited. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I just want to say, I'm one of those students. My family has seen my picture on the refrigerator. Stephanie taught me I cannot draw a pen, but
I guess you
Stephanie,
can.
yeah,
You can.
Stephanie taught me to do that. It was so much fun. And you with a lot of other
Because it
people.
fits with what she's wearing today.
Yeah, yeah. So please come.
Serendipity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful.
You'd be surprised how talented you really are if you have the right.
And fun to take something home and
Yeah.
spread the joy. Exactly.
And put it on the fridge.
So Stephanie's first class will start next week. It's a four class series, which will be in the next consecutive weeks. We'll finish up next month. And it is the suggested love offering is $80 for all 4 classes or $25 for a single class. And as I said, it's a love offering. So if you don't have the funds, you don't, that's over your budget, but you want to take the class, come and take the class, give what you can. And what I love, what Stephanie just added, is she said we may add some drumming or something else. I think we could even do a little bit of a guided meditation or something, calling in that creative energy of Sophia, doing some drumming, see what happens. So it's really going to be a fun experiment in creativity and calling in the inner child to just come and play. Any other announcements that I'm forgetting? I don't know. Let's send some prayers and blessings to Marilyn to help heal her lungs and free that flow of air for her. Let's send healing prayers and energy to anyone else who needs it, to the world at large, people who are feeling out of balance. Let's send healing love, particularly this love energy, to our leaders throughout the world, recognizing that we can feel like our leaders, those people up there, are more powerful than us. We need to remember that we all have equal power. And it's when we know that and own it and feel that divine connection, our power increases. So trust that the power is not in doing over anything, it is finding yourself in that divine alignment. And so as we feel that divine connection, we come together in our in our love circle, and sing our peace song.
The light of God surrounds us. I am that light. The love of God is for us. I am that love. The power of God protects us. I am that power. The presence of God watches over us. I am that presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Praise God.
Yeah.
I sat there because I had been that's the reason I didn't jump up. With you singing that song, no, we had 15 different keys going. It was like, oh, I should have jumped up.
No
But
worries.
then not after it started, because then everybody has to follow it.
Yeah, no worries.